good whatever time of the day you've happened to turn on this podcast and give it a listen. This is the P&A Podcast Express. I am Adam Filkins. Along with the usual Phil Nickel, we have our first official guest of the podcast.
Poppin' the Cherry podcast we have your pleasure tonight, a legend in his own right. He's well on his way. He's part of our Sportsline crew as well as Thumb Tailgater crew. How we all kind of got thrown into this mix. Jonathan Bisher.
Don't forget about Tuesday Night Bowling.
And Tuesday
He
Night
also
Bowling.
carries our bowling team.
He is the anchor of our bowling team.
Carries our bowling team like a ball in a cheap bag.
Not very well.
That's what we're talking about here tonight. This is episode 4Z2J441379er X 2.0.
Alpha.
If you want to get a hold of us, you can always text us at Pablo November Alpha Podcast Express at gmail.com. Did I get that right?
Except you said you can text us.
He said text
Which
instead of email.
is probably going to get bounced, but
You can email us
at that.
See,
that would be great.
I'm more confused than a baby in a topless bar right now.
Yeah, well, it happens. It happens.
I'm just the thrill of having a guest. So anyway, PNA Podcast Express at gmail.com is our email address. Send us hate mail, send us love mail, send us pictures of things you find fascinating or interesting. If something grinds your gears, if somebody needs to get karate kicked in the crotch, or if your friend's being a dick, send that to us.
Absolutely. We love the emails, and we do have a big announcement before we get started.
Okay.
We do have a big announcement. We are going to do our first live broadcast. It'll be on a Monday. Because it cannot interfere with bowling. So It's going to be on a Monday because we don't want to do it at like 5 p.m. when everybody's just on their drive home.
Because people think that's lame.
Because it would be convenient for everybody but us, and we're really selfish.
And
we're on our drive here at 5 p.m.
We do like to inconvenience people a lot, but this time we're trying not to.
It is going to be Monday, January 18th, 2021.
I like it.
It will be at the legendary Silver Tavern in Deckerville on the west end of Silver Tavern. You would hate to go to the east end and have to make that
Don't go to the
huge
east end
trip.
because it's just the school down there. You don't want any part of that. You want to come to the west end and drink, set all phasers to stun, and let's get this party rolling.
Exactly. So, this will put everybody right where we need them, down here at the Silver Tavern in Deckerville. We're going to go live at 7 p.m. You're welcome to come in and grab a burger, a drink, whatever you need beforehand. Everything should be opened up, and hopefully we haven't got shut back down by then for the...
I am not at all surprised by any of these details because we discussed it in the pre-show meeting.
There was a pre-show meeting?
We did not have a pre-show meeting.
No, that's a fallacy.
That's the inside joke. PNA Podcast Express, if you want to email us at gmail.com. I like emails, but nobody's sending them. I mean, send us weird shit.
We get a few, but yeah, the more weird stuff we get, the more weird stuff we talk about, which leads to more weird stuff.
Which is what we kind of are grounded in weirdness. I mean, people really like talk about hobos and spam, and they don't like my stories about masturbation mishaps, like episode 2, drink. So there we go.
Well, we don't know that they don't.
Maybe they do.
They got to email us and let us know if they want more. Phil.
Masturbation stories. I have hundreds of them.
Can we put a Facebook poll out there of what episodes are favorite so far? And if episode 2 wins, we know they like Phil's content. If any other episode wins, we know they hate Phil.
I can tell you right now, people like the Adam-centric episodes a lot more than they like the Phil-centric episodes. I have realized this. I thought I was a leading man material like Steve Martin in his prime, but I'm old Steve Martin. I really can't carry a movie, but I'm a great sidekick in
Does that make me Martin Short? Because I'm not sure in that who's the sidekick.
He's Chevy Chase.
Oh, sorry, you're going to fall later.
Well, I'm an accident-prone one, so I'm going to fall and hurt myself.
The accident. Oh, so that's just what I know. So more masturbation stories, potentially. I mean, I wouldn't do it.
I'm sure you've got plenty in the pipe.
I have.
the very clear pipe.
Only two have come out of there. So
well, there are the 2 stories that my mother forbids me to tell, and neither of them are actually masturbation stories, shockingly enough. But.
Is that going to have to be a P&A After Dark episode?
That's right. We'll get the lava lamps and the candles. And
the smell of incense.
Which drives me nuts.
Oh, a lot of incense is pretty terrible. There used to be an incense from a place that used to get that was actually really good. They discontinued it. But it was the only incense I've ever liked that didn't make me just want to gag.
Do you know why hippies wear patchouli?
No.
So they can offend blind people too.
That is true. That is.
So anyway, JB, let's focus on you for a minute here.
No,
what grinds
no.
your gears? Give us a topic. We come in here with nothing.
I came in here completely unprepared, just ready to go off of you two and bounce things off your minds and be
what's the biggest obstacle in your life right now? What's the biggest problem?
driving 45 minutes to work.
Driving 45 minutes to work.
I started a new job
You've
Monday.
got a really nice truck, though, so I don't understand why it's a big deal. It's just too much of a drive.
You did mention that
I gotta wake up earlier in the morning. That's really what grinds my gears.
That's what grinds his gears.
you have the benefit now of working near a Burger King and a Dairy Queen.
Yes,
both flame broiled goodness. The only real way that a hamburger should be cooked.
That other restaurant down the road, how they cook theirs.
That's as God intended, right there.
Yeah. You char mammal meat.
See, my one friend, he insists that you should eat a cheeseburger with nothing but burger, cheese, and bun. That's how he says is God intended. I don't know what he has against condiments.
No, it's not the condiments. Okay. It's that the meat has enough flavor, then you don't need to add anything to it. It's all about your seasoning beforehand. Because everybody says, I'm against this. Everybody says if you have to add A1 to your steak, you have not cooked it. You have not cooked it good enough. That is bullcrap. Because even if it is a delicious steak, because I will eat a steak without A1, I prefer A1.
A1 has many uses, though. I'm gonna. This is a gift I'm going to give everybody right now.
It's a lubricant, too.
The next time you go and get breakfast somewhere and you have hash browns, when they offer you ketchup, you say, no, I want A1.
You ever try it with your French fries?
Oh,
Especially the ones from Applebee's. Those ones are the best ones. I don't know why. The Applebee's fries with A1 steak sauce, oh, dude, those are... You can also use it in your homemade sloppy joes. Adds a nice little kick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, A1 has a million uses.
Oh, it does.
It may say 1, but it should be 1,
it is very
underused. And 6 zeros afterwards.
See, I have to disagree with you guys on all this. I like A1. I just don't... I don't get the universal appeal. I enjoy it. I'll put A1 on things. Actually, if you have like a nice steak sandwich, like a shaved steak, and onion, A1's perfect on that. It's the perfect
I use it on
thing
pork
to go
chops,
on
chicken.
Pork chops wouldn't be too bad.
They used to make an A1 poultry sauce.
No, just straight A1 steak sauce.
Yeah, but the A1 poultry sauce was just as good as the steak sauce. It was just different.
Okay.
But it was really, really good. So now, I'm going to mention this to you, Phil. If people didn't hate you because of masturbation stories, they will definitely hate you for hating on A1.
There's 3 things people really dislike me about when it comes to this fucking podcast. One of them is me telling the masturbation stories. 2 of them is my disdain for green bean casserole. And now
I'm with you on that one. I don't like
the
green
third
bean.
one will be my
dislike for A1 steak
my
sauce.
dislike for A1 steak sauce. You know, I get a little pandemic in these things. I can't help it. I'm a stickler for it. And A1 is good. Have you read the label of A1? There's all kinds of interesting shit on the A1 label. I think it's some of the, like
1964 being the year it was developed.
1860, yeah.
1864 in the middle of the Civil War.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody decided we need a steak sauce. You know what will make our life better right now? I mean, we've got people from the South and people from the North that are all Americans shooting each other in open fields. Let's develop a steak sauce because that's what the country needs right now. And you know what? Fuck Abraham Lincoln.
I bet you. Well, that's you thinking it came from the South. I'm thinking it's more of a New York thing.
You think so?
But
I'm thinking I'm with Adam on this one. Probably more New York, Philadelphia, somewhere in there.
But can you hear the advertisements now? You got some guy out on the street selling the miracle elixir and the miracle elixir that we developed for the troops.
Now, here's where though. Yeah. Well, to be fair, it was developed in the United Kingdom, so. Once again, don't make me go on a rant against those Yankee Doodle fuckers over there.
That was a good episode.
A1 probably get on macaroni too, just saying.
A1's purely macaroni. They're sticking feathers in their hats and asses on that one. Unbelievable. So some past A1 slogans, some of their slogans in the 40s, the dash that makes the dish. Dash and dish in all capital letters. Don't cover it, discover it with A1. That was the 80s. I kind of remember that one.
Yeah.
A1 makes hamburgers taste like steak burgers.
Oh, yeah.
That's some horse shit right there.
No, what?
A1, how steak is done. That was the 90s. I remember that one. A1 makes my meatloaf sing. I mean, makes meatloaf sing. Like the artist?
Wait, are you going to tie A1 into like another episode 2 story with that comment?
I told you it could be used as a lubricant.
He already made that suggestion.
Although the vinegar-esque smell kind of takes you away from the mood a little bit, I feel.
Yeah, I would imagine that could.
It's not one of those pleasant things that is conducive to sexual activity. Not that I'm aware of. Maybe some people are.
I'm sure there's a
I mean, Canadians love to have their fries with vinegar, so maybe it's sexual for them. A lot of weird things are sexual for Canadians, though.
Yeah.
How many Canadians do you know?
A lot.
So we were in Canada one time.
Always avoid Canadian women, though. They're sturdy. Go ahead.
We were in Canada one time when my kids were young, and we went to a wildlife reserve, right? So we're checking out, all these different pieces of wildlife. And the one thing I didn't realize about Canada is, and especially I guess the region we were at, because it's kind of over near Toronto, we go to the restaurant there, and
Horseburger,
and they had what they called their Maverick Burger.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't put two and two together until I got it, and the had like a thing that came with it that had like a horse burned into it, yeah. And I was like, Maverick, ew, not what I really wanted to order.
See, I'm the psycho asshole that went to Canada specifically when I was about 17 or 18 and sought a horse burger just to see how it tasted. And
it wasn't bad. I did probably put too much A1 on it, because I did put A1 on it thinking it's got to,
I do get overly concerned when there's feathers sticking out of a hamburger, though. Two and two don't add up.
No.
But that's
when you really put a lot of A1 on it.
That's a lot of it. So A1 is the cure for everything, according to you two. For me, I don't know. I'm not really a ketchup fan. I think mustard's good.
It's got to be ranch. Mustard. Do you put ranch on your pizza?
I don't know.
Okay, you're normal.
I'll eat the crust with marinara if it's available. But
me too.
Yeah.
But ranch,
or a garlic butter dip.
There's only one thing I eat with ranch, and that's my buffalo wings. I do like buffalo wings with ranch.
Blue cheese.
I'll go blue cheese if it's available. Like, if I'm at a restaurant, I'll request blue. Actually, I kind of usually double down and get both because, let's face it, I'm fat, so I don't mind.
So I'm a ranch and baby carrots kind of guy. That's the only thing I use ranch for.
I'll put it. I mean, I like ranch. I'll put it on stuff, but not.
I have a friend that'll take a piece of pizza, put ranch all over it, like dress the top of it, grab another pizza, put it on top.
And make a ranch sandwich?
And make it a ranch pizza sandwich.
Ugh, gross.
I'm like, dude, you are sick. And I mean, it's just oozing with ranch, too, and it's just like, that is too much.
So since these podcasts,
very food-centric.
They're very food-centric. An eventful thing in the area, McRib is back.
Oh,
and how do they call it the McRib when there's no ribs in it? And I don't think that any of the meat that is in that was ever attached to a rib.
I don't think so.
So here's what I do. Every time the McRib comes back, I order one. Because I'm like mothers with childbirth.
I'm good for two.
You forget about the pain and for a reason, then you decide to have a next kid, and as you're having that child, you're in an obscene amount of pain. I'm the same way with the McRib. It's here so infrequently that I will order one, I will eat it, and then I'll say, you know what? That's probably the third or fourth worst thing I've ever put in my body, and then say I'm never going to do that again. But my memory will lapse by the time it rolls around again, and I'll order another one of those fuckers.
Well, there's a reason they cycle them through, and I have a theory.
Yeah.
I have a theory that a McRib is just reshaped Spam.
I feel that way.
With barbecue sauce.
Have you seen the McRib before they cook it with no sauce or anything?
Oh, yeah, it's just kind of white
and it looks sickly. Yeah,
tar marks on it.
Doesn't even look like it should be edible.
No, it does not.
No, I think that there's a definite disconnect between food and whatever the McRib is actually made out of. But I like I say, I'm good for 2 a year. I buy one and I'm like, boy, why do I like these? And then I get another one and I'm like, I don't know why I like these.
Have you ever seen the sodium content on those things?
That's sure, sky high.
All sodium.
Pure sodium. But let's face it, I mean, that's what opens up flavor for a lot of people is salt. People that have terrible taste buds, no fault of their own, they don't have a refined palate, or they've ruined them throughout the years by various things. Maybe, I don't know, sucking too much dick. I don't know.
Well,
I like salt on things. What are you calling me out here?
Hey, JB, what you do on your own time is your own business, my friend.
I doubt he'll have a whole podcast dedicated to one of his stories of shower masturbation.
You bet I won't.
Episode 2, drink.
So, that's my whole theory is that they just take Spam, they chop it up, and they reshape it into fake little riblets.
Have we ever put A1 on Spam?
No. I can't say I've ever ate Spam either. I know what it is, but I've never ate it.
I was at the store today, and my mother said, I need to get you something to commemorate you being the first guest ever on this podcast. I almost bought him a can of Spam today, too, and I should have now. I thought, you know what, that's too cheesy and terrible. Very apropos. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, instead you come in with shit.
Once again, Phil drops the ball. That's why he's divorced and single.
My friend's a dick, and this is why.
Exactly.
Hey, there you go. That ties into the segment. I'm a dick because I didn't buy him a can of Spam.
No, because you didn't give me a gift.
No, your gift is terrible ideas for things to talk about on
that works
on the podcast.
Okay, you're still a dick.
I've been called worse by better.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
You'll be called worse probably by the end of the podcast.
Easily.
You've also been called better by worse, probably.
If you want to call me worse things, send your email to, let's see, Pablo November Alpha, podcastexpress@gmail.com. I got it right that time with email.
Can we get off the Pablo, though? I mean, you have used it too many times.
Right.
Like, come up with something else. Like, we got Picasso, pistachios.
How about pineapple nipple asshole at Podcast Express or Podcast?
Well, if you're going to go sexual, you might as well say penis.
Yeah.
No. Penis.
You said nipple asshole.
It's all you think about. Well, I guess those things naturally go together in your mind.
Oh. I didn't think we could go further south, and yet
I thought pineapple
in walks JB.
It's pineapples and assholes.
Hey,
last time
you guys thought me on here was going to bring the viewership up. It brought it up about 6 minutes, and then it just dove right down.
So little do people know, I just let the cat out of the bag. P&A Express or Podcast Express has pineapples and assholes.
Yeah,
is what it stands for.
Meanwhile, as the whole thing crashes and burns, I'm the guy on the Titanic over here playing the violin, just like, oh, fuck it.
We're going down.
Yeah, let everybody else get
I'm
on
the one
lifeboat.
just pounding liquor. Meanwhile, JB's got his woman that he loves on a door, and he's got plenty of room to climb up there with her, but he decides to drown.
Yeah. I might even be the old guy laying there with the old lady just waiting to die.
Smoking a cigarette?
Yeah.
This podcast did good. You took us off the rails, JB. Normally, left to my own vices, you can ask. You've listened to the podcast. I don't normally get this wound up.
I just
do.
I get real wound up.
I do. I'm all wound up.
Well, I mean, we do have to reserve some energy. We need to take some points tonight at bowling.
We have to.
I'm hoping this will help me carry you guys even more because it gives me fired up, ready to go when I go in there. But
fired up.
Who knows?
Well, yeah.
I might tire out by game 2 instead of game 3.
You will go in tonight fully knowing that you have to carry us, and you'll be prepared to do so because you see what a shit show we have going on here. So
okay, so seeing you guys bowl, I came into this podcast going, it can't be any worse than how they bowl.
He had low
expectations. It can't be any worse how they bowl. And how you guys call games, no offense.
It can't be any worse than how I bowl.
This guy's attacking my livelihood now.
Well, it had to be said.
I never said I was good at it, calling games.
Or bowling.
If you guys know me, you guys know me pretty well. I don't actually call games. I don't know if you ever noticed that. I'm just usually there with my random quips and random bullshit.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Yeah, me and Mikey do the work.
See, here's the dirty little secret. I don't actually give two shits about the game I'm calling generally. I just kind of fake it till you make it. I mean, most of the time, I'm just trying to get people to laugh that are around.
Well,
and they do.
I'm like a less intelligent Dennis Miller.
We will bore people with this aspect of all of our lives in doing the sports broadcasting. You get on those games that are just a huge blowout.
Yeah.
But they're not quite to a running clock, but it's just
our first game of the year we had.
Yeah, horribly boring where you're just like, oh, my God.
I actually do like the game, so that was kind of a lie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
I enjoy football.
Yeah, oh, yeah. It's a lot of fun to go out there, and it's always fun to be part of the game. But you get those games that are just terrible, and I always start making stuff up. Like I'll say that a friend of mine had the last carry, and he's had a great night tonight. And
you remember our game that we did in Ubley with the refs? We had some fun with the refs.
Oh
there.
yeah,
we did that Ubley Flint Hamity game, and there was about 10 minutes there where the refs just 10 minutes overall the whole game. The refs just I don't know. We don't know what they were doing. We were making up stuff left and right.
You guys have no idea what you're calling right now.
We really
they didn't.
They didn't. They were throwing flags and they're like, "What's that flag for?" And then they'd wave it off. Like clearly they didn't know.
They'd get together and talk or they threw a flag the one time they waved it off and we could see that there was a penalty and they just waved it off. It's like, okay, I guess that was a thing. So that's
maybe
the sports segment.
Maybe they should have put some A1 steak sauce on it.
They should have, or they should have gotten a McRib before the game.
Why the fuck? You guys got me on A1. I'm actually flustered about A1. People love A1 a lot.
I love A1.
good.
I could drink
Now,
A1.
what's your stance on bold A1? Do you remember? Do they still make it?
They
Or
do make
they
bold
made the
A1. They
bolder-
also make the thick and hearty.
I do not like
What
the
the
thick and
fuck is
hardy.
No,
Thick
I'm
and
not.
hearty.
I'm not a fan of the thick and hearty.
The thick and hardy can go away. That's not any good.
Thick,
Yeah.
Thick and Hearty sounds like a terrible comedy duo from the 20s.
It's like Heinz ketchup that they tried to make taste like A1.
Ugh. Remember purple ketchup?
No.
Yeah.
The 90s were a weird time, dude.
Yeah, and now they got all these things like this mayo chup.
Oh, yeah. My kids love it.
Yeah, it's not
Cranch. They love cranch. Ketchup and ranch. Like, they take the parts of the words I wouldn't have taken to put them together, and they put them together. Like, their marketing people are just absolute trash.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't
swear.
ketchup be better than mayo chup?
Yeah, like mayo chup, that just sounds like something you have to go get treated with penicillin for.
Yeah, I was going to say it sounds like something that ends up on Phil's shower walls.
You're not wrong.
Well, I know I'm not. But, they've got all these different things now, and every time, what was the one I seen the other day? It was like barbecue honey, but it wasn't called that. It was something else.
Now, if you take a honey and spice it up, like I love spicy honey, that's becoming rapidly becoming a thing.
It's like all the new
Yeah.
chip flavors are trying to come out with. Send us in your best combo for the chip flavors.
Yeah.
No, just stick with the original. It's what works.
So one of the two things I love about Canadians, well, three. One of them's hockey. I do enjoy hockey. I love their love of hockey, and I love how they all play hockey. Don't fuck with young Canadians because they're all in shape because they all play hockey. The second one is all-dressed chips. If you've ever had them, they're amazing. They start off in Canada. I mean, they're just a sodium bomb, but they're really good. That and poutine. You can't go wrong with poutine.
Poutine is fantastic.
Canadians got it right there.
The Horseshoe in Brown City
Yeah.
makes a killer poutine.
I'll have to check it out.
I mean, it is really,
When we're
really
allowed
good.
to. When we're allowed to.
Well, they have a drive-through window and stuff, so you can order. And if you happen to be in Brown City, which nobody ever does on purpose,
Yeah, you kind of find yourself there by happenstance generally.
yeah.
Yeah, who actually goes to like? I'm going to go to Brown City today because they got this that I really want.
Well, there are a couple. There's a business there that I frequent.
The Mexican restaurant's really good there, too.
Yeah, I
There's a
didn't care for
Mexican
it.
restaurant in Brown
There is,
City.
it's really good.
That shows you how many times I've been there.
But anyway, so, yeah, if you find yourself in Brown City, Michigan, I mean, apparently stop by the Horseshoe. Horseshoe it's called?
Yeah, it's
Get that
probably
poutine.
one of the best overall restaurants in the Thumb. I think.
See,
that's
I'm
a hidden gem.
That's
do you
high
know how many,
expectations.
do you know how many
there.
random texts I got when we talked about the best pizza in the Thumb? And I'm like, I
Oh, I missed that episode.
Yeah.
What's the best pizza in the Thumb?
Oh, the best pizza in the Thumb is a Water Tower.
Water
in
Tower in Lexington Heights, yeah.
Never had it.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
And close second was Applegate Inn and Applegate, of course.
Never had that one either. Clearly,
You guys
I'm the
have
north.
lived.
I'm the north guy, kind of the Thumb.
I don't get
the
out
Pasta
much.
House actually has really good pizza.
Can't you
in
tell
Kennedy.
by my stories I don't get out much? I'm still telling stories from 30 years ago like they're brand new.
That is true. That
Yeah.
is true.
year
I don't
in
make-
review?
I
Phil's
don't-
last 30 years.
See, I'm Hallmark's nightmare because I don't make new memories.
Phil can't tell us what the best pizza is like 20 miles away, but he can tell us what kind of paper stock sticks to the bathroom wall. Well, drink,
Glossy, episode 2.
drink.
The non-glossy ones just didn't seem to have the same grip. So really it altered my grip because I was busy trying to hold it up. So I couldn't really concentrate on as much. Although steadying myself on the wall is probably not a bad idea now that I think about it.
And let us say we may not have an episode 2 if that happens.
It's kind of very, very, very. What do you want to say? Like time travel-esque, very what butterfly effect kind of thing.
Well, if we didn't have an episode 2, literally, what would the ones of people that have listened to that have done?
You know,
They probably would not have lost brain cells.
That could be.
that's true. That's fair. That's all fair. That's all fair.
The hatred for Phil would not be at about a 98%. It would be at about a 94.
Well,
Yeah, people would more be hating on him more for his lack of love of A1 and the fact that he sought out to eat horses.
that's true. I forgot about that. I'm going to get some. I'm sure I'll get some.
My horse eating, totally by accident.
See, mine was purposeful.
That's exactly
I
why people are going to
understand.
come in. You're going to get, like, your Gmail is not going to be any email. It's going to be
Right.
just strictly hate mail.
Right.
Like, PETA's going to come after you for eating horses. People are going to come after you for hating A1 steak sauce, which is probably one of the best condiments in the world. You're despised for green bean casserole, which I really don't care for either, but it is what it is. And what was the other one?
Well, episode 2.
And episode 2.
Send your hate mail to Pecker November Apple podcastexpress@gmail.com. That's PNA podcastexpress@gmail.com.
Very nice.
Well played.
Yeah, he never gets this right. That's like 3 times he got it right tonight.
I'm due to get it wrong.
You will. There's still plenty
I'm like
of time
a broken
left.
clock. I'm right twice a day. I can't help it.
Well,
that's
we'll
still
see.
debatable.
Yeah, I don't know if that holds true or not.
I don't know anything. I come into this podcast with no expectations, so it really bums me out when people say they can't wait for the next episode, because I'm like, shit, I feel that pressure. You kind of feel it. It makes me want to like put A1 on shit.
I'm not in this to please anyone.
Yeah, and I don't really even please myself at first, so there we go.
I feel like this started as your guys' like own therapy session,
right?
And everybody else is just comedy for it.
Yeah, well, it's kind of everybody loves. You hear a fire come over the scanner, and everybody's like, "Oh, I want to go check that fire out." And they might not, but if it was available that they could just click on their phone and watch that thing burn down,
we bring the fire to you.
We bring the fire to you.
That's a good
analogy.
That's a T-shirt right there.
It is.
We bring the fire to you.
That might be a tagline. We talked about recording some promos.
We bring the fire to you.
Yeah. Yep.
The P&A Podcast Express, we bring the fire to you.
So episode 2, Drink, is a classic example of one of my favorite comedy bits. I told you that story to tell you this story. I like to set up things like that. So I told you that story to tell you this story. I'm not going to tell you that story till about episode 20 or so, but there is a follow-up story to that.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
To episode 2?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
So that's going to be episode 2.20.
Yes. Coming soon to a theater near you.
That will be. We will have. That might have to be a live episode.
And I'm not stressing the coming on that one either.
Oh boy.
Oh Jesus.
Phil, are you going to show your kids this podcast in about 15 years?
I'll show it to them now.
We're family friendly.
Start with episode 2 then.
Yeah.
We've got some families that have told us that they, some people that have told us, we listen with our kids.
Let me tell you, there's only 4 people in my life that are thoroughly disappointed in me, and they happen to be both my parents and my children. So I don't really understand what I could do worse at this point.
That's because nobody else wants to be in your life.
Well, that's sad but true. Wow. That's, you know what? That's tonight's karate kick to the crotch, administered by Jonathan Bisher to Phil.
No one wants to be in Phil's life.
Also, it's a My Friend's a Dick, and here's why.
Wow, 2 birds, 1 stone. Karate kick to the crotch, and my friend's a dick, and here's why.
And we've already had one, so that might be our second double dicking.
So basically, I'm the dick in every story here.
Yeah, that's usually how it turns out. And that's not on purpose. We don't.
But we still call you our friend.
We're like NPR. We put the facts out there, and that's just how you turn out.
So you can interpret it however you want to. It's open for interpretation. It's kind of like a voting ballot. It's open for interpretation.
Remember, was it last year or 2 years ago when that truck on the ice in Lexington went through the harbor and Tosh.0 made that skit on it?
Of course.
And he goes, we all have that one friend that we don't really care if he lives or die. I'm not saying Phil's that friend, but there's a chance Phil might be that friend.
There's a chance that when I die, it's going to be in very spectacular fashion, too. So,
when you die, you're going to go out with a bang, dude. Everybody's going to hear about it.
I'm going to have to get another co-host with a P in the name.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be the NA Podcast Express, and people are like, non-alcoholic or not available.
We don't want that shit.
No,
that's lame as hell.
Nobody will tune in.
Nobody wants near beer. Nobody wants near beer when they can have Phil.
There is a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
You need to make a Phil beer now.
I bring a lot of intangibles to the table. I'm like A1.
Well, we're not saying that you're not necessary.
Yeah. It's just, I'm struggling right now.
On One Day at a Time.
I need to call my
the TV show One Day at a Time.
Yeah.
Who was everybody's favorite? Got the biggest cheer from the live studio audience when he walked on set.
I never watched that show.
Snyder.
Yeah.
You're the Snyder of the podcast. And that I say that just
I like to see where I fit into you guys' lives because it's interesting to me.
I said that because it only applies to a very small amount of people that'll actually get that. There's going to be people that listen to this whenever they listen to it, and they're going to go, Snyder from One Day at a Time. And what they're going to
look it up.
Yeah, they're going to Google, and they're going to find that it's a guy in every episode that wore a white T-shirt, a jean sleeveless vest, and wore a tool belt, no matter the occasion.
Hell yeah!
And that's you.
See, I'm okay with it. See, it's funny because when I first met JB over here, Jonathan Bisher, call him JB, I offered to be his mentor, and he actually told me no, hell no, and ran the other way. It was weird.
And I don't remember that instance, so it's good for me.
I'll be like, I'll be your mentor. And he's like, I don't want any part of this.
You are kind of the Matt Patricia of life coaches.
I am the Matt Patricia of life coach.
I went from a 500 team when I met Phil to being about 40, 60 in the bad way.
Well, it could be very well that my whole purpose in life is just to serve as a warning to others of what not to do.
I have a...
And we greatly appreciate you for that.
I have a poster that actually says that on it.
Right.
Sometimes your purpose in life may only be to serve as a warning to others.
That's right.
I also have another one that has a thing of McDonald's fries as a picture, and it says, not everybody can be a rocket surgeon.
I like it, rocket surgeon.
Yeah.
See, I like the bumper sticker that used to just say, very simple, just said, you're a good argument for birth control.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That's solid.
Yeah, you're a good argument for birth control.
My good saying is,
simple.
You're the reason your parents didn't have another kid.
That's right. Or
I am the youngest, so I may be that.
Me too.
My youngest sister will say no because they fucked up so bad with you that they had to try to write it, justify,
That's another good one.
Yeah. You're the oldest, right?
No, I'm the middle child.
You're the middle child. Oh,
sandwiched between two doctors.
So they went with the first one, like, if we can have another one like this, we'll be golden. Then they had Phil and went, shit, we really got to fix this now.
Yeah.
What have we done? And here I am tossing Pop-Tarts on my dash to defrost my window.
Actually, I believe the story was your sister did that to outsmart you.
She did. She cracked the code.
Yeah.
She cracked the code. Which, if you're ever able to see Dr. Ellison, she's outrageously intelligent. Great doctor. Both of them, I'm proud of both of my sisters, and they send me a Christmas card. That's about, I would say that's about how it stretches for them. They're like, probably should acknowledge that he exists.
Yeah. Well, it's good you got that going for you.
Yep. So at least there's that.
He's the brother that they don't claim, but if somebody asks, is Phil's your brother? They go, yes.
Yeah.
But they don't announce that they have a brother.
I did receive 5 Christmas cards this year.
That might even
3 more
beat
than me.
That's a record.
That might even beat me, and I have some people that like me.
One of them
no one likes me.
They're mostly in my house, but
that's because they're forced to.
A lot of times I'm told people tolerate me. I don't know if that's a...
But you know what, Phil? If I didn't like you, I wouldn't come do this podcast with you, and I wouldn't go do Tuesday Night Bowling with you.
That is true.
The one thing I do bring to the table is at least it's generally somewhat fun to be around me because I really don't take anything too seriously. So
no, and we're throwing a lot of hate. Is
that why you got divorced?
Yeah, that's why I'm divorced.
we're throwing a lot of hate your way.
We are. We're just jabbing you left and right now.
That's okay.
I kind of feel sorry.
It's only because it's fun for everyone else.
I have broad shoulders, and you know what? A1, you guys, the hell with your A1. A1 steak sauce is overrated.
I don't know if you and I, JB's kind of skinny. Yeah. I don't know if you and I can lay hate on any food.
You're right.
Because I just think it's a lie.
You want to know the sad part is my diet is horrendous.
I bet it is, but you're young. You have great metabolism. Like, you're not even...
I've been this size since I was like 8th grade.
You're in your mid-20s. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll get fat. Don't worry.
Yeah, my dad's just...
So you better secure a hottie right now and make her stay with you for some reason.
Hasn't worked yet.
Hopefully you don't have to. You've got time. You've got time, my friend.
I've been trying.
If not, you end up sticking posters to the wall of your shower.
Episode 2, drink.
Okay.
Wow, people are just going to be shithoused this episode when they listen to it.
All because you guys brought me on.
This is the point where we can start saying really weird shit and everybody's drunk, so they'll just be like, okay, I buy it.
I'm excited. You guys do this live show. It's going to be in the bar. You're going to have endless supply of alcohol for episode 2 references.
Yeah.
And drink.
We need the dinger bell or the gong.
I'll bring the gong.
And whenever episode 2 is brought up, gong and everybody has to drink
that
here.
Bitch.
Which reminds me, we do need to remind everyone, if you're still listening, that on January 18th, a Monday at 7 p.m., Silver Tavern in Deckerville, we are going to do a live broadcast.
And if you cannot make it, send us an email, send us a card.
You should be able to log on and even message us live.
That's dangerous.
During the show.
Well, that's why we're going to start using Spreaker now. We can do that.
We will. And
we can interact during the live show.
We can actually take live feedback. You won't have to email us. You'll just click and be able to send the hate.
can send hate mail to Phil right away.
Yeah, it's instant messaging hate mail.
So this is a message strictly for my therapist because I know she listens. You're going to have to double book me for two sessions that week later.
So IM just became, instead of instant messaging, it's instant malice.
Instant malice.
IM. You guys remember IM on like Windows, the little icon with the two people? Whatever happened to that?
Whenever anybody
it turned into Skype, and now it's turned into Teams.
See, this guy knows. Whenever anybody mentions the word malice, though, I automatically think, what's Ron Artest up to these days? Because remember Malice at the Palace?
Malice in the Palace.
Oh, I even remember that one.
What's Ron Artest up to these days? We should have him on the show.
It's not Ron Artest
anymore.
It's
Meta World Peace, yeah. We should have him on the show.
For those of you that don't know, he really did change his name to Meta World Peace.
Do you ever wonder where Sheed Wallace is up to? Because he was like also in a big part of that one.
Yeah. He's probably laying low. I don't think he changed his name, but I mean, he's retired by now.
Retired millionaire, can't complain.
Yeah.
Maybe Lou Alcindor or Cassius Clay will come on.
Cassius Clay isn't going to.
Well, maybe we can have a medium on that can contact Cassius Clay.
Well, there you go. Oh, that's what we need. We need a medium on the show.
We do need a medium.
If you're a medium, send an email.
We got a lot of dead people we want to contact.
To the Polar November Albatross Podcast Express at gmail.com.
If you're a medium and you want to showcase your skills, we have a lot of dead people we have beef with.
Yeah. Oh, tons.
I mean, John Wilkes Booth comes to mind.
Well, I'd like to pick his brain.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Perhaps, yeah. Maybe just JFK. Maybe we'll get them both. Maybe we'll have a peace summit.
Reunion. We can have a medium ghost reunion on the PNA Podcast Express.
Screw Ghostbusters. Let's start this here.
Yeah. Maybe the PNA Podcast Express should be for paranormal, normal
activities.
What activities? There. That's a good word to start today.
This is
Podcast Express.
This is riveting podcasting you guys have going on here. Phil does not approve of this.
Well, I think that's what people enjoy about our podcast.
Have you ever wanted to just do in life like what they do in Ghostbusters? Like, I want to do it with the podcast, where I just spend my life savings on everything, give up my job, and just start a business for something that people have a hard time wrapping their head around, which is podcasting.
Why did the hearse that they bought have a like siren on it?
I think they installed the siren on it.
No, he drove up with the siren going.
Well, perhaps. But if you think about it, it is New York, and there's a lot of messed up people there, so maybe that's a need for a hearse back in the 80s.
Maybe that's how they send people off out there.
That's how I want to go.
You just want to go, don't you?
Hey, my therapist, I am going to need a session later this week.
Can you meet up after bowling?
So that's what I was talking to my therapist one time. They're like, you ever have suicidal thoughts? And I'm like, you mean just normal thoughts? He's like, no, thoughts about dying. I'm like, you mean normal thoughts?
He goes, I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday before 7 p.m. and then again at 7 p.m. when I go bowl.
Exactly.
Whenever my normal day thoughts, because I'm up and moving around, when I'm not at home or in the shower.
Basically, if I'm not in the shower...
A lot of different thoughts in the shower.
If I'm not in the shower, if I'm not having Spam and A1, if I'm not thinking about how much I hate green bean casserole... See, I need these things. You guys crack the code. You're like my sister throwing Pop-Tarts on the dash.
Well, yeah.
I need all this negativity to focus on, so I don't focus on the albatross that is my life.
That's a good point, and I think that's why a lot of people that listen to... I shouldn't say a lot of people, because... There's not a lot of people that listen.
We've got tens of dozens of listeners.
I got you guys a new subscriber last night, though. So
fantastic! I appreciate that.
You're welcome. No, was my sister.
Oh,
you're welcome. I subscribed this morning.
I stole a homeless guy's phone last week, and I subscribed on iTunes to our podcast. I'm not going to lie. And you know what? I have no regrets about it. No regrets.
First hobo listener.
First hobo listener. He's like, I'm homeless. I'm like, you have a nicer iPhone than I do. I'm like, well, let me see that for a minute. He's like, and I'm like, subscribe. So he's going to be getting these pop-up shit. He's going to be downloading. He's going to be like, what the fuck is this shit? Can't even stay warm, and now I got to listen to these assholes?
Now I'm hungry and I want Spam, and I got $1.
Well,
these guys talk about food all the time.
To that hobo out here, live episode, Silver Tavern, Deckerville, January 18th. Come get some warm beer.
I'll tell you what, if you're listening to this, Mr. Hobo, that I subscribed and made it instantly download our podcast, if you hear this, I will buy your first 3 beers if you show up for the live episode.
Oh, that's a...
Can I show up as a hobo January 18th and get 3 free beers?
Yeah. Heck yeah. So I have a...
What did he look like, Phil?
You brought up a hobo with a nicer iPhone than you, and I thought of this story a couple weeks ago, and I hadn't busted it out yet. So a few years ago, I was... with my business, I was doing some work with the Amish in Shipshewana.
Oh, jeez.
And so they contacted us, and the guy sends me an email, and I'm thinking that it's...
So an Amish person sent you an email?
So I'm thinking it's somebody who's not Amish. They send me an email with a phone number. And I'm like, well, I got to call that phone number, right? You know, I mean...
If you have a chance to talk to an Amish person on the phone, you do it.
So I call, and I get somebody on there from Shipshewana that sounds Canadian, and I know they're not Canadian. And sure enough, we go down there to meet with this guy, and he is like the most pimped out Amish guy I've ever seen. He's got an iPhone on the hip. We walk into this building. Is he the
leader of the Amish Mafia?
No. They actually had gigantic duck farms down there, but they had one of those places that made the mantles like you see on TV. The Amish made fire mantle.
Whoa. Pause for a second here. Duck farm. Mm-hmm. And he has an iPhone.
Yep.
Was he trying to text somebody that he wants more fucks and it auto-corrected the ducks and that's how he became a duck farmer, or vice versa?
Was he playing Flappy Ducks instead of Flappy Birds?
No, but he didn't give a duck. So anyways, we're down there and we meet them at this shop, right? So we meet them at the shop, and we walk in and everything's like lantern lit and candle lit, and they got some skylights in there. So...
Do you want to hear the worst Amish joke I ever wrote?
Sure.
Do you ever think Amish people's horses look at regular horses and get jealous?
No.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. That is pretty bad, though. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That might not be
That's a Phil Nickel original right
just
there.
Just the worst Amish joke that you've ever wrote, but that anybody has ever wrote.
So nominate me if it's possible. If that's an award. Go ahead with your story. Well, sorry, Adam had to erase his COVID over here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So... We get down there, and we go into this place, and it's all like, it's the front of like a bigger pole barn, right? Mm-hmm. And we get talking to this guy, and it's all lamp lit and candle lit and stuff like you would normally see. And he whips out his iPhone, and he calls somebody else, and they wanted us to do some work on generators there.
Right.
So he calls somebody else, and he's like, okay, I can take you back through the back. So he opens up the back, and it's like a big blinding light that comes through. We go into the back where they're making these Amish, quote-unquote, I'm doing the bunny ears, Amish furniture. And it's all fluorescent LED lighting.
Right.
All these machines. There's Amish guys and like a guy wearing a Metallica T-shirt. There's a whole mix of people working in there.
Amish people love Metallica.
They're like using Makitas and stuff to put all this together. There was nothing...
handmade about this bullshit?
Well, it was all handmade, but it was all like total power tools, totally off of like everything jigged out, just an assembly line of stuff to put all this furniture together. So to say that, it's handcrafted and stuff, and you picture some old Amish guy whittling away at a piece of wood to make a...
That's a fallacy.
That's a total fallacy.
Well, I'm not supporting the Amish anymore.
Yeah, Amish print money. They don't pay taxes. And if you ever give an Amish person your phone, it's a long time before you get it back, and you're wondering, who the hell are they calling? But now we know other Amish people actually have phones.
That's another story. Is several years ago, when like you had an on-the-wall phone and you paid long distance.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine that was a farmer that had some Amish move in next door to him.
Yeah.
And he had a phone in his milk house. And they said, hello, can we use your phone from time to time? Yeah. Well, he ended up with a $700 and some phone bill from them calling long distance like all the time.
And Jedediah didn't pay that shit either.
So on that note, I just, I had to tell that story because I thought of it a few weeks ago.
I told you this story.
iPhone.
I told you that story to tell you this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you are Amish and you would like to email us, do so at...
Go ahead.
The PNA Podcast Express at gmail.com.
Huh.
Or you can send it over by carrier pigeon or whatever else.
No, they got iPhones. Why not email?
So I have a thing. If you're my friend on Snapchat, which, by the way, I'll release that later in an episode. If you're not my friend on Snapchat and you listen, you can give me. When I'm on my way to work, because I go through Amish country, if there's ever any Amish buggies, I snap it and I send it to my daily fill of the day to people. And I usually caption it for something Amish.
Nice.
Yeah. It's just what I do. It's a public service.
Well, yeah.
Because I always say people are like, oh, the Amish don't like it when there are pictures taken or this and that. I'm like, if they have a problem with it, they can call me or email me. But now we know they have the means, so I might have just opened up Pandora's Amish box.
Well, I had
dun, 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 dun.
I had coworkers from Poland come in one time.
Yeah.
And we were driving around over Marlette where our shop was, and we had 2 Amish buggies going up in front of us, going up to the stockyards. And they were just so confused by that,
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice that they're in a carriage. We're like, no, you don't understand. These people won't drive cars. And why wouldn't they drive cars? they really didn't understand the...
They're just being
I'm like,
difficult.
It's a religious thing, and then they still didn't understand it.
By the way, biggest perverts you'll ever meet in life, Amish. They have nothing else in their lives besides work and sex. That's all they have.
Yeah.
Think about it. Work and sex. That's all Amish people have.
Why do you think families were so large back in the day and Amish population just keeps growing?
Yeah.
Right. And, and their family trees don't have a lot of branches either, let's face it.
No. Because, really hard to recruit somebody in the family going, hey, you can come in to candlelight.
That's another thing.
And you can make your own candles.
That's another Amish joke I absolutely appreciate is how does an Amish person know when it's just a candlelight dinner or a romantic dinner? Or a romantic dinner or a regular dinner?
That's true.
Yeah.
They don't.
I messed that one up. I'm the king of messing up.
What don't you mess things up?
Yeah, you're right. I sound like my dad.
We're about to see your dad.
Yeah, we are. Actually, you sound like my boss.
Can't say I know him.
I want to retire so badly. Please share this podcast with people so
yeah,
I can
share it out.
Free me from my prison. It is having to work a 9 to 5. Make it so I can do this and bring more low-quality entertainment to the masses.
Oh, dude, I'd be down for that.
We usually talk about, that was a good show, or that was all right, or I wasn't feeling it tonight. And I got to say, having JB on tonight has really made it to where I really feel nothing about this episode.
I am indifferent.
That's what I'm good at.
I'm very indifferent about it too.
Yeah, I'm very melancholy. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I think it is. I think it exists.
I think it's in the zeitgeist now. I think people are going to know about it. This is episode number, realistically, and I don't say this very often, but this is unlucky episode number 13 overall.
It is.
That's why I was here.
That's right.
We needed you here to break the juju that we...
You guys were hitting that stalemate, that you had to get over that hump, that crest.
We've become stagnant.
You're the free agent we brought in to hopefully make us not suck.
And it did not work.
It did not work at all. You are the Prince Fielder.
I was going to say Prince Fielder. You read my mind. We've been doing this for too long. I was going to say you're the Prince Fielder to the Tigers trade free agency we never wanted.
Wait, we got to think of who was that Pistons free? Josh Smith for the Detroit Pistons.
I was thinking Ben Gordon.
Or anybody that's ever been on the Lions. Oh, boy.
That accounts as Lions draft picks also.
Yeah.
Except for Stafford.
Let's face it. If you're brought into the Lions, it's a place to get a paycheck and then have the rest of your career suck.
AKA Calvin Johnson. Barry Sanders.
Yeah. Well, those guys were even like... this has really ruined the sport for me, so I'm just going to get out.
Exactly. You see Calvin Johnson called out Rod Wood today?
No.
I didn't read the article, but I seen it. Apparently he said he called out Rod Wood earlier today.
Damn.
His name's Rod Wood, for Christ's sake.
That is a good point. I've never thought about that. Why do we trust him with our beloved Detroit Lions that we hate every day?
Beloved!
I said that we hate every day.
Yeah.
Now, everything with the Lions makes sense to me, that their beat writer is named Rod Wood.
No, not their beat writer. Their executive of football operations.
Yeah. Okay.
That beat writer probably does follow him around for that reason.
He should probably be a beat writer.
Oh, this is why I don't care for A1. One of the ingredients is raisin paste. Raisins are the booby prize of trail mix, I feel like.
I kind of disagree with you there.
Why not just eat grapes? Raisins seem like an unnecessary
They're old
step.
grapes.
There's only one way I like my grapes, and that's not in raisin or standard grape form.
Well, how do you get grape juice if you don't dehydrate a few grapes?
I kind of steered us awry there. I don't want to talk about the Lions. I had a bad experience.
Well,
who hasn't had a bad experience with them?
You've been a Lions fan for how long?
Let's just say
40-plus years.
The Lions fan, being a Lions fan, the Lions have done to me what that downspout did to my face in the episode 2 story.
Well, I kind of feel like our podcast is the Lions of podcasts because it's kind of like, well, the next one will be good.
Right. Always chasing that next one.
Next year.
You know what?
There's people that tune in just to see if it gets any better.
Like, they heard special guests, and they go, well, this one's got to be better. This has got to be the difference maker.
This is the episode. Well, this is the year.
And then they realize, nope, episode 13 was still really crazy.
Now instead of 2 idiots talking about random bullshit, it's 3 idiots talking about random bullshit.
Well, when we say special guests, they're like, well, is he special like, they got Tom Hanks as a special?
Or is he special like Special Olympics?
Right.
The second one is probably more accurate.
Yeah. So that's why we brought you on because we knew that you wouldn't supersede the level that we've already taken this to.
I couldn't take your guys' show over. You guys couldn't have somebody on that was going to come in here and just wow everybody and go, that man right there, he's going to start his own podcast
I welcome
and
it.
he's going to go somewhere.
If this is becoming a star search for us with our guest, I welcome that. If somebody wants to come in and outshine Adam
or
be our guest.
Wow, just calling out Adam there.
Well, I mean, he's the talent here, not me. So I'm saying if they want to come in and outshine Adam.
Well, I was thinking to come outshine you and replace it as the Something in A podcast.
Well, the one thing about Phil and I is we have faces for radio and a voice for silent movies.
That's right, absolutely.
So bringing anybody on can be a huge, huge boost in our ratings. I do want to mention we were ranked at number 45. 4-5.
It is. True.
On the Apple Podcast in the USA.
Entire United States.
In the entire United States. And I'm like, okay, so what are there? Like 46 podcasts?
That's what I thought, like 48.
Crack the top 50, that's all you got to say.
But we were ranked up as high as number 45.
Yes.
And we've had kind of a heartbeat-looking ratings going on.
Right.
But we were as high as number 45 for comedy improv podcasts in the U.S. So
wait, just under that category we were ranked 45?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of disappointing. I thought you were talking overall podcast.
There's only keep in mind, there's only 20 categories total.
20 categories total. We were number 45 in the entire U.S. in our category. And
there's only 3 comedy.
And for you to wonder, there are actually, I did the research, there's between 350 to 400 podcasts in that category.
Yeah, subpar.
On Apple.
That's still subpar.
So
I make my living out of subpar.
Yeah. I mean, Tiger Woods is subpar, and people go, "Oh, well, that's good."
Oh, look at him! He's the greatest of all time.
Until he bangs some other chick and
screwed
up his life.
I think a golf club going through the back window of his SUV is what did him in.
It might have had something to do with the alcohol/drugs he was on too.
Don't ever talk shit about alcohol.
No, this is an.
I'm talking just during the driving.
Drugs.
Just driving.
Oh yeah. Drugs though, go ahead.
This is an alcohol-fueled podcast.
We run on alcohol and hate.
Yeah.
Philip hate.
And nicotine.
Not in that order.
No nicotine. Actually, no nicotine. I haven't had nicotine for a long time. I don't hate things. I just have I despise
disdain?
A lot of things.
Disdain.
Tons of disdain.
Sounds way better than despise or hate.
A lot of disdain. And you know what? The only reason I took such a strong stance against A1 here tonight is because you guys were so pro A1. I felt
there needed to be that yin to the yang.
As a service to our listeners, we needed that.
So really, you do like A1 is what you're saying?
I am...
Like, rated out of 10. Are we talking like a 7, 6?
It's a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Dog, it's a 6.5 out of 10. If I had to rate it in the pantheon of condiments, it probably is right around the top 10 maybe.
But there's only like 10 condiments.
There's like 50 condiments.
What are the 10 most condiments you use?
We discussed ranch. We discussed mayo chup. We discussed...
Okay, but the ones that aren't combined that are new to this world that I've never heard of.
I have 75 different kinds of hot sauces at my
Heinz
house, too.
57, barbecue sauce, ranch.
Okay, clearly
ketchup,
you guys are on
mustard,
a whole different world than I am.
Dijon mustard. Well, we haven't pigeonholed ourselves into a condiment, tunnel. We're living life.
It's A1 or nothing.
We're living life.
So and then ketchup, mustard, mayo.
This guy's right-wing extreme over here.
Yeah, I don't...
As far as condiments. Sorry, not politically. Condiments. We don't discuss politics or anything.
If we were discussing politics, I wouldn't listen. You guys would have lost a viewer.
I think we would lose a lot of viewers. Cause
I love that you guys refer to them as viewers. If you had to watch this shit, you would never... pay attention.
So if you are a avid ESPN person, which most people are not, you know the Dan Le Batard show?
Yes.
So this is the Dan Le Batard show, a podcast.
Yeah. Only... not as good.
We're
But what I'm saying is people hate the show.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever go on like his Twitter feed or his comments? And it is strictly just like people bashing
Dan
him.
Dan Le Batard is a great dude and very talented too.
And it's just fun. It's just people bashing him, though.
No,
that's what it is here. People
we're seriously, we are like the anything that's on QVC after midnight podcast. Stuff that nobody wants to buy, but they got to fill time because they're 24. Everything's 24 hours now. So we are the whatever is they're hawking on QVC.
Dream catchers and purple dildos.
Dream catchers, purple dildos, and knife collections that nobody's going to buy. Who needs 75 knives?
I have a big purple dildo story I'll tell someday. Is
that episode 2.20?
It very well might be. That's what we call a teaser in the biz there.
Yeah. I might set that one out.
I'm not going to bring things in for show and tell.
Oh,
No, he's gonna invite you over afterwards for show and tell.
Yeah.
You want to see my dildo collection?
I've really become uncomfortable now.
Phil, I think we should end the podcast now.
Does our podcast have a safe space that I can go to?
It's called bowling.
Someday we'll. I wanted to talk to you about this in a pre-show meeting, but we had many other urgent things to talk about. We probably do need a safe word for our guest.
Yeah, that might be.
It's called. They're going to take off their headset and walk out.
Yeah, like I think it'll be called "See Ya."
Yeah.
Bye. Don't know you.
Maybe blocks. Maybe you could just say like Rosie O'Donnell or something.
Well, she might come up on the podcast. We have brought up Mariah Carey, which is the Rosie O'Donnell.
I heard she's no
singing.
longer relevant until next Christmas.
That's true. We've vanquished her for a year.
That's right, and
hopefully longer.
And now I see that Cardi B is like drowning puppies again.
Yeah.
Do not get me started on those women.
That is what she does. She is a puppy drowning machine.
Damn.
That's like the Michael Vick of music.
Oh boy, that was
you
good.
Mean runs for a lot of yards?
Even though you're a quarterback and you shouldn't. Oh, and you fight dogs for pleasure.
Now, if he would have been fighting the dogs, I would have been all for it. But having dogs fight each other, not so much.
That's what I'm into. Is it just?
I want. If you're an idiot and you don't like dogs and you did something bad, I hope a dog rips off your face.
Yeah. Maybe that should just be a thing. We could start a video podcast where people get their comeuppance via dog.
Via dog. Let's not do that.
We'll call it dog uppins.
Dog uppins. I thought we did well with our new segment of like karate kick to the crotch. But.
Well, yeah, but we could have like Vince, the ShamWow guy. Oh, you're going to get your dog uppins, and then a dog just attacks him.
Just out of nowhere.
We interview him for like 30 seconds and make him seem like a decent guy, and then, Vince, you're not here because we like you. You're here to get your dog uppins, and then...
Sounds very To Catch a Predator.
That sounds like a little chihuahua, not going to lie.
And then we could be very Chris Hansen. Well, I could have went... But, we could be very Chris Hansen-ish. Take a seat. Take a seat, Vince.
Let's have a talk.
Take a seat.
So what are you here
Have a seat
for?
right over there.
I see you're carrying a six-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Is that some Bartles and James I see there? 4-pack of Bartles and James? Wild Berry? Take a seat over there.
So you have a bag of gummy worms, too.
Take a seat over there.
This is terrible. This went south in a hurry.
Is that Sour Patch Kids you have? Take a seat over
you got
there.
my attention now.
Crack open that bag of Sour Patch Kids and let's talk.
Well, now we know if you ever need to get JB in the shower, you just need Shower Patch Kids.
Shower Patch Kids! Sour Patch Kids! Oh, good Lord. Oh, no.
Please tell me you didn't have any of those in the shower with you during episode 2.
Not yet, but at 2.20, that might come out.
A little gritty. Not going to lie. A little gritty. Grit's not what I'm looking for in this situation.
Oh, boy. Well, we are at 58 minutes, so any closing thoughts?
Well, we already did my friends a dick and here's wine.
We had
out
two.
It was me.
It might have been you both.
They were both me, and karate kick to the crotch was me too. It's a stellar episode.
We've
A1, the Civil War condiment that won the North the war.
Yeah, for the troops.
For the troops.
That's what freed Staveley right there. It's not Abraham Lincoln. It was A1 steak sauce.
It wasn't the Emancipation Proclamation. It was A1.
That's why the bottle is black glass.
That's Gettysburg, my friend.
That's a nice tie-in.
That is great. So you're saying the brown bottle of A1 is an homage to freeing slaves?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Our Wikipedia page, if you're updating our Wikipedia page, put that in there.
Put that in there and take out all the bad shit you said.
Nah, keep the bad shit in there. You know what? There's no such thing as bad press. I mean,
that's true.
Haters are going to hate. And honestly, the thing I appreciate about people that hate shows like ours,
they're honest.
They listen anyway.
Yeah.
Because they want to build that hate.
And they go, oh, those bastards.
And then there's people that just hate people that hate, so they're going to automatically like our podcast because people hate it.
Right. They just want to take that opposing view.
This is
like the yin to your yang, like how Phil was with the A1 steak sauce to us.
This is a vicious cycle.
Yeah. So I do want to mention that we will have a live show, being that it's a live show, it will be live at the Silver Tavern on the west end of Deckerville.
Is that going to be live?
Maybe it's a live show.
And we don't have to work with a delay. We can say all the shit you want, but don't bring anything like racially charged. And we don't talk about the big C word, and we don't talk about politics on this show.
And no fucking cowbells. Leave your cowbells at home.
For the love of God.
No, leave
if you
that
have
at
a
home.
gong,
now
the bigger the better.
Gongs are allowed.
Gongs are allowed. No air horns.
Kazoos are allowed too.
Yeah, kazoos are allowed. You bring an air horn in, you will end up needing a proctologist.
I'm thinking Adam's saying we're going to shove that up your ass.
Yeah, that air horn is going to be a
my
suppository.
friend's a dick, and here's why.
And then push the button once it's shoved up said ass.
Yeah. I'm not going to push it, but so we will find somebody. Somebody here will be a big enough fan that they'll be like, oh, I'll hit the button.
Do you think our hobo would do it for money?
Probably. There's like some little sacks of peanuts up there for 99 cents. Probably one of those.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
we will give him a glove because we know the whole don't want him to get sick thing.
Can't believe you had a nicer iPhone than I do.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised.
That doesn't take much, Phil. You get like a 5.
Every day my life's a disappointment.
He probably has a nicer iPhone and a nicer bag on a stick than you do.
And he's probably dating a prettier woman. Wait, any woman.
Yeah. She got most her teeth.
All right. This episode is brought to you by absolutely no one. We're looking for sponsors, too, by the way. If you want to sponsor this hodgepodgery train wreck,
if you want to kill your business,
that's right,
destroy it in every way fashionable,
and I'm going to
we are your podcast.
I'm going to do something I haven't done since I was married. I'm going to beg. Please share our podcast. Please.
Yes.
Introduce it. If you enjoy it, if you enjoy it, share it with people you love and want them to have enjoyment too. Or if you hate it, share it with people you don't like.
And I will say again, live, first ever, make history with us. Come out live Monday, January 18th, Silver Tavern in Deckerville, 7 p.m. Get here early, have a burger, a bowl of chili. They've got great chili.
Right.
They throw onions and cheese on it for you if you want it. It's fantastic. So come out early.
And I tell you what,
get some food.
If you bring a bottle of A1 or a can of Spam, we might even put you on for a minute or two.
Heck yeah, we will likely have a open mic ready to go. And so we want everybody to come out for that. And if you can't come out, at least listen and chat with us live on the show.
Or if JB's here, bring him a bag of Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
It's the way to my heart.
Yeah.
I will literally do anything for you if you bring me, especially like the large bag from Walmart.
Does the Warrior Princess know this?
She won't buy them. Well, Pink Starburst is another one too. If you go get the shareable size of all Pink Starburst, yeah, she knows.
I don't have a sweet tooth, but if you listen to episode 1, my kryptonite is beef jerky.
Yeah.
Are you sure your kryptonite's not the shower?
My kryptonite is pretty much everything. So
yeah,
including what's in your hand right now.
But the good news about that is
it's not my penis.
That means you are a Superman.
That's right. Thank you. That's the nicest thing anybody said about me this entire goddamn podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I couldn't leave on a low note with you.
We had to build you back up so we can tear you down next week.
I know, because you just want me to bowl well tonight. Thanks, assholes.
Yeah, because you carry our team. Not really, it's you, JB. You carry our team.
We know.
All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up. Thank you for listening. JB, Jonathan Bisher, our guest. Thank you. He's Adam Filkins. I'm Phil Nickel. PNA Podcast Express at gmail.com. Email us, pineapple, nipple, alpha, podcastexpress at gmail.com. Make good choices.